What's up, YouTube? This is Squid7667 here to bring you a trumpet review on the Blessing XLTR trumpet. This is the school's horn. This belongs to this high school I go to. Stone-capped valves. Here's the serial number. Here's the trigger. Doesn't, as you can see, oh shoot, a couple flaws with the horn. Number one, it's old, the trigger doesn't work. Because it's the schools, they don't replace it, but probably about $10 would replace that. Let's see, the slide here, it comes off, but it is really hard to push in and out, especially with your ring finger when you're playing, so that doesn't work. And then this and this don't unscrew, which leaves this stuck in there, so you just have to pour oil in there. But valves are in really good working condition. I'll show you that a little bit later, a little bit better in a second. And just for those that don't know, here's my King Silver Flare. This is actually my trumpet right here. I know it's a lot prettier, right? But yeah, the trigger is supposed to go out and come back on its own. You push it out, it comes back in, out, back in by itself. It's not supposed to just linger out there. That defeats the whole purpose of having a trigger, because it's like automatic. But we're talking about this trigger trumpet, not mine, because I will review mine on a later date. But yeah, my first YouTube trumpet review isn't even on my own horn, but oh well, it's cool. But yeah, here's the engraving. This is the case. I'm assuming it's the original case. It looks pretty vintage. It's got a thing right here, a little flap, a little pocket flap right here. There's a mouthpiece place and just another empty space down there, and then more than enough space to put mutes and stuff. And then my friend who wants to use this horn marked it with duct tape so he knows which horn to grab. But yeah, it's a nice horn. I'm gonna use my Vincent Bach 5B to demonstrate it tonight, whatever you want to call it. So I am using a Samsung Galaxy Player 4.0, not the 4.2 or whatever the new one is. It's just a 4.0. So yeah, quick inside of the bell, valves, yep. Alright, just gonna play a few notes here. If I crack a few of the notes, sorry, I have not really warmed up. And I guess I'll play some marching music from my freshman year. The horn feels really nice. Feels nice. Obviously, except for the fact that I can't utilize either of these slides properly because of issues with them. I'm not very fond of it, but if they actually work, this is actually a very nice horn to buy for a beginner. No, I wouldn't say beginner. Well, you could technically start on this horn. I wouldn't agree with starting on this horn, but you could, definitely. It's an intermediate horn. Bore size, .460, I think. Yeah, it's definitely a very good bang for your buck. I've seen brand new ones of these are $700 a piece, so it's a pretty dang good deal for this horn. Inside of the bell again, here's a side view. I mean, all in all, this is a very nice horn. I wouldn't say it sounds as good as anything else I've played on that isn't a beginner horn, because this is definitely better sounding than any beginner horn out there. But like, my Silver Flare beats this horn by a long shot. And I don't really want to go into a comparison video, but let's just say Silver Flare beats this by a long shot. One interesting thing though, this, if it was in full working condition with the slide and the trigger working, I would probably prefer this over my Bach Strad. Yes, I do have a Strad too. It's just in my school locker because it's my marching horn. But yeah, I would definitely, if this was in full working condition, I'd prefer this over my Bach Strad. I do not like my Strad. And it's not because the Strad is a terrible horn. Only a fool would call it a terrible horn. It's just not what I like in a horn. I got the Strad before I really had researched trumpets a lot. And once I did, the Flare was the horn for me, because I went and played on like 2 of them, and the Flare is just amazing. But I'll get more into the Flare story when I do the Flare video. All in all, if you're thinking about getting this horn, I'd say you're making a very good decision. If you get one, just make sure the trigger works, because otherwise it's just pointless. I mean, sure, this is the school's horn, but they need to fix this for whoever uses it. And they should probably get this looked at too, the slide, because it's really bad. But the valves on this are very nice. Thanks for watching. This has been a trumpet review on the Blessing XL TR by Squid667.